Now to the second of the second chance heats out of three today. It's Junior Rotax up next. Let's have a look at the starting order. So pole position representing Lithuania is Adas Majalskis, with North Macedonia's Vasil Apostolowski alongside on the front row. Tomas Rudokas and Kiran Bartenstein from Lithuania and the Netherlands, row 2. It's Belgium and Denmark on row 3, with Batuan Kumas and Knut Nielsen. Puck Gubbles in the from the Netherlands, 7th, ahead of Finland's Jimmy Kokalainen in the 278. Andrea Kostic in the 279. Sebastian Bach from Denmark and Zach Turner round out the 11-strong grid. We've got one going backwards, and that is the 261. Batuan Kumas getting stuck on the wet and damp grass, which has got the mud underneath it, and spins up the rear tyres on the sighting lap. Not exactly how you want to start things off, but the driver is pulling the cart away from the grass as the drivers go on to their official formation lap. And I've just spotted that Batuan Kumas has fired up the Rotax Max Evo engine and gets back underway. That was a lucky escape, because if a marshal had touched it, the Belgian would not have competed any further. So, as with the Minimax drivers, Junior Rotax will compete in this second chance heat over 7 minutes, plus an additional lap. Top 6 to go through to the pre-final at 12 noon and the final at 2:35 p.m. So, Majalskis and Apostolowski on the front row. So 10 of the 11 drivers will take the start because Batuan Kumas is coming through, but the red lights go out. The second chance heat for Junior Rotax gets going. Adas Majalskis leads the way. Tomas Rudokas looks to have gotten through into second position. There's an absolute fight and a half going through into turns 3, 4 and 5. So Turner's made up a couple of places. Move for 4th. Nielsen, I think there's someone alongside going into the into turn 7 off of the Europalan, and someone has gone a bit too wide, and that was very, very close. That might have been Knut Nielsen running with first race point. He's got one of the Sodi carts behind. Zach Turner looking for a lunge up the inside through into turn 10. And that would have been on the 228 of Sebastian Bach from Denmark. So, first lap completed. Adas Majalskis leads the way. Tomas Rudokas. So it's a Lithuanian 1-2. Third, it's Kiran Bartenstein. Rudokas was looking for the move. Majalskis keeps it pinned through turn 2. Now through 3 and into 4. Top 3 have started to break away. Puck Gubbles now up into 4th place as Adas Majalskis loses out to Tomas Rudokas. And that's for the race lead. Kiran Bartenstein is still keeping with them, but the 2 behind are closing. That's Puck Gubbles and Vasil Apostolowski. Zach Turner looking to get past another driver up front. It will be Knut Nielsen. That'll be. But it's getting a bit closer between the top 5. The tops, well, it could be more than just the top 5 very soon that could be together. Zach Turner trying to go audaciously high, wide and handsome around the outside of Knut Nielsen. And got the undercut through turn 12. The top 5 now make their way through turn 2. Zach Turner's made his way up from stone dead last in 11th position, now into 8th. Now there's a bit of a battle with him, and also I think that was Andrea Kostic. And Turner still ahead. It's going to be nearly 3 abreast as the number 2, 6-1 of Batuan Kulmas has finally caught up after 2.5 minutes of racing so far. So leading the way. Oh, right. Drama. That will be for, I think that is Andrea Kostic. But has unfortunately got off at the outskirts of turn 8. Did the same as Batuan Kulmas there, just before we got going with the formation lap. But it's Tomas Rudorkas, Kidon Bartenstein and Aras Majalskis that lead the way, the top 3. Fourth, it's Apostolowski from North Macedonia. Goals from the Netherlands and Sebastian Bach from Denmark rounding out the top 6. So it's going to be a close one. The top 5 have managed to get some, well, the top 3 specifically have gotten a real breakaway, and they're running in a bit of a freight train at the moment. And the higher up you place in the second chance heat, the higher up you're going to be. You're either going to be 30th or 36th, or somewhere in between. Puck Gubbles being chased down by Sebastian Bach, and that is going to be for the all-important 6th place as they come out of turn number 12. And the Dane has the slipstream. The Dutch driver closes the door going into the approach into turn 1 and turn 2. Majalskis has now got through on Kidon Bartenstein and now goes after countryman Tomas Rudorkas. So one on the Birol ART, the other one on the Kart Republic chassis. There's the 278 of Jimmy Kokolainen running on the Xpree chassis. He's just had. Well, that's a change for that's going to be a change for 5th place. So Puck Gubbles has now been overtaken by Sebastian Bach from Denmark. And now Gubbles returns the favour through the very next corner, through into turn 10. Neatly goes onto the racing line and plants the cart there, makes it a little bit wider so Bach can't get through. Now it's heating up back again at the front as Aras Majalskis will be in the slipstream. And he's less than a tenth, and now he's gone for the lead and got it. Bartenstein goes through as well on the Rudorkas. So through 2 corners, Tomas Rudorkas not only loses the lead, but drops down to 3rd in the process. That's how quickly, that's how powerful the slipstream here is at Karting Genk, especially on the start-finish straights. But the top 3, you can't really separate them at this moment. But Kidon Bartenstein now trying to go after Aras Majalskis. Bartenstein knows this track very well, being with the GKS Lemons Power crew that are based from this circuit. And he gets through on turn 10 on Aras Majalskis to retake the lead as we're about to complete lap number 6 with 1 minute and 17 seconds on the timer as they come out of turn number 12. Majalskis goes defensive on Rudorkas and neatly plants the Argenti Motorsport kart nicely, but a little bit further behind. That's Zach Turner. Oh, bit of a drama behind Jimmy Kokolainen. So Batuan Kulmas would have been involved in that one. What's more, Jimmy Kokolainen is no longer in 6th place. That's 7th because Zach Turner has managed to get from last and is into provisionally the last qualifying spot. So I had a chat with his dad John this morning and he said, look, we've had this, we've had that, but we're having a lot of fun. That says to me volume. That speaks to me volumes, that does. But we're going to go on to the penultimate lap, lap 7 out of 9 completed. On to lap 8 we go in the lead that Kidon Bartenstein has over Aras Majalskis is nearly 0.6 of a second. Tomas Rudorkas, Vasil Apostolowski, Puck Gubbles, and Great Britain's Zach Turner now round out the top 6. Turner has gotten away from Jimmy Kokolainen from Finland in the 278 as the timer has expired. And the last lap board will be brandished this time around. And there is That is 228. Sebastian Bach on the Sodi kart is out. And being consoled by his mechanic there. One more lap remains as Kidden Bartenstein has bolted away from Tomas Rudokas, Aras Majalskis, who now complete the top three. Fourth behind them on the Praga chassis from North Macedonia. Vasil Apostolowski completes the top four. Now it's the final lap of the race. Kidden Bartenstein has nearly a 1.1 second advantage and goes through into turn four for the final time. Second, third and fourth now being hotly contested. Apostolowski has been catching in the meantime, quietly from behind the two in front, and now has a good run of slipstream going down the Europolan into turn seven. Behind Aras Majalskis, Rudokas holding station in second. Puck Gubbles in fifth and Zach Turner completing the top six. Oh, move there from Apostolowski on Majalskis, and Majalskis gets the cutback and might pip them at North Macedonian on the line. No, he doesn't. But it's Kidden Bartenstein that takes the victory from the Netherlands by just under 9.5 tenths of a second, ahead of Lithuania's Tomas Rudokas, and North Macedonia's Vasil Apostolowski takes third place ahead of Aras Majalskas. Puck Gubbles. And from last on the grid, I know his dad at the moment is going to be jumping for joy because provisionally, Zach Turner made it from 11th and got into 6th past Jimmy Kokalainen from Finland in 7th position. And there is the sign of euphoria from the Netherlands, Kidden Bartenstein, the 290 from GKS Lemons Power. So let's have a look at the results for the second chance heat for the junior Rotax division. So provisionally at the moment, Kidden Bartenstein, Tomas Rudokas, Vasil Apostolowski, Aras Majalskis, Puck Gubbles, and Zach Turner are your 6 drivers that will be moving through to the pre-final stages. Jimmy Kokalainen 7th, ahead of Knud Nielsen. Batuan Kumas recovered after that spin on the formation lap to finish 9th with Andrija Kostic in 10th. And with 3 laps to go, Sebastian Bach from Denmark retiring from the race. So just to recap, that second chance heat for the junior Rotax as our race director Thomas Leiner speaking with North Macedonia's Vasil Apostolowski, with Kidden Bartenstein waiting patiently until the lights were due to go out. The drivers would make their way out onto the circuit with Zach Turner. On the sighting lap, Batuan Kumas from Belgium already scuppered his chances by spinning out of turn number 8 and had to catch up as the rest of the field got racing. As Aras Majalskis from Lithuania with Argenti Motorsport led the field into turns 1 and 2, followed by countryman Tomas Rudokas. Kidden Bartenstein was looking up the inside of Vasil Apostolowski early. A little bit of a moment here between Zach Turner and Sebastian Bach. The 228 from Denmark will later retire from the race. And here was the first of several lead changes, with Tomas Rudokas getting past Aras Majalskis, going into turn 6 with Kidden Bartenstein looking to get through. And then Andrija Kostic also having the same drama as Batuan Kumas. And it was a 270. Then it became a 180. And then the rear tyres spun up. And then you could see the steam coming off of the wet grass. Majalskis would start firing back. First up on Kidden Bartenstein for second position going through into the turn 1, turn 2 complex. And again, well, Michalskis would take the race lead. Zach Turner definitely had his fair share of dramas, but so did the likes of Jimmy Kokolainen, amongst others. But it'd be Kieran Bartenstein that would take the victory, as Zach Turner has just received a 5-second time penalty for a front fairing penalty.